Hi, I'm Darcel Lobo and I own Dow Law Firm. I'm an attorney in the Seattle, Washington area and wanted to talk some more today about LLCs. I get a lot of question about LLCs. So let's talk some more about them. And specifically, let's talk about if you need an attorney to create your LLC. The short answer is no. You do not need an attorney to create your LLC and file it with your state and to open your LLC. It's not needed at all. You can do it yourself. But what are you putting at risk? For a lot of my clients, they are looking to get into real estate investing. That's a big one for my clients, and why they want to create their LLC is to protect that real estate and protect their assets from anything related to that real estate. So if it's rental properties, you're putting that at risk. And then also your personal assets. What personal assets have you worked for? Your own home, your other investments, your other financial assets. Those are all a potential risk and liability in regards to that LLC if it's not created properly. And so while you can do it yourself, it's not advised. It is a relatively small cost to get your LLC set up correctly with an attorney versus the cost of doing it incorrectly. I've seen a lot of bad LLC operating agreements, which is really the foundation and the blueprint of your LLC. I've seen a lot of bad ones. And I've also seen quite a few LLCs where there is no operating agreement. That means there's no protection. If you have a bad agreement, it's not drafted properly, or if you don't have one at all and you just went online and created your LLC and did not create your operating agreement, there's really no point in you even having the LLC because it's not going to give you any protection. Even if you have a tax ID number for it and you have a bank account for it, there is no protection if you have a bad foundation to your LLC. And that is for your operating agreement. You want to make sure that's done correctly. So again, doing it yourself, perfectly legal. You can do it yourself. You don't need an attorney. But what are you putting at risk? What is that ultimate cost if it's not done correctly? And so in talking about this, let's talk about the overall LLC process, because it's a relatively straightforward process to create your LLC. You're picking your name, you're writing up your agreement and your articles of incorporation, you file it with your state. I'm in Washington, so you'd use the Secretary of State here. You apply for a tax ID number. You can do that online with the IRS, and that's free. And then you're opening a bank account for that LLC. I mean, the overall process of creating your LLC and getting it up and going is really not a lot of steps. It's pretty straightforward, but you want to make sure it's done correctly. Just because it's a simple process doesn't mean that there's not risk involved and that you shouldn't take it seriously. So if you're in Washington State, and if you're looking to create an LLC, maybe for real estate, maybe for other purposes, or maybe you have an LLC and maybe you did it yourself, or if you purchased a form online and you're really not sure if you're protected, if your LLC is protected, you're welcome to give us a call. Our number here is 206-408-8158, or you can visit us online at dowlawfirm.com, which is DALLAWFIRM.com. And on the website, you can just submit a request online to schedule an appointment or send a message to my office. But there is a lot at risk. And sometimes people don't take LLCs maybe as seriously as they should when creating one, and they're looking to cut costs. And I understand that when you're first starting a business, starting, real estate investing, there may not be a lot of extra funds to use. But when we look at what's at risk, when I look at the cases that I've seen where it's done wrong, it's done incorrectly, and people are not protected and their assets aren't protected, and they learn that when it's too late. If there's a liability exposure and your LLC, the foundation is not strong, it's too late after the fact to go back and make a change. You want to make sure that it's done correctly when you first create the LLC, or at least before you are at the point where you have a potential liability. We want to have the foundation of the LLC in place so that you can know and be assured going forward with your business that you are protected, your LLC is protected, and if there's other members of your LLC, that they're protected as well. So again, if you need help, give us a call, 206-408-8158, or visit us online, dowlawfirm.com.